guys, I'm out here on the road today. Came down to check out Larry down at Boxcar's Garage. If you haven't checked out his channel, go check it out, Boxcar's Garage. He's got some cool Model A stuff down here and really neat stuff you got here, Larry. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, no, my wife doesn't think so, but I do. I like it.
Yeah. Well, let me show you guys this little Model A coupe. All right, so here we got a, what is this, a 30, 31?
30. It's an early 30. There's a couple of telltale signs that I was informed on, and that like the fender supports is a good way to kind of gauge what your car is. The cast iron fender supports are early 30 because they ended up changing about mid 30s to a stamped design.
Right.
But that's one of the indicators of
It's a
early 30.
It's a pretty solid car. I wish mine was this rust free.
It took me 3 cars to get here.
Yeah.
Kind of traded up as I went along, but it's got. This is one of those sneaky projects, because you look at it at first and you're like, man, this thing's great shape, you know, and you fall in love with it really quick, and you overlook a lot of things, and then when you start peeling back the layers of the onion, you find out that she's got some things that she's going to show you later you might not be happy with. So
right.
You can see we've got the front end of it dissected. There's a significant issue here at the A-pillar that we got to talk about. So I had to peel this all open, get the trim off of it, and the header panel off of it, and the sides. But you can see this damage. This kind of surprised me, and when we were talking about it, you're the guy that figured out that this was lead repair.
Mm-hmm.
This car was hit. The door was moved, and this whole A-pillar got kicked forward, and so you know that was a significant episode in its life. You know, I don't know how it happened exactly, but you can see what was left. We've got this split right here. This has been leaded up. It's been caveman beat in. Up here at the top part of it, it got beat back as close as they thought they needed to go. But they stopped about a ½ inch shy of where it really needed to be. So that is the issue that I have with this cowl. Luckily, on a fluke, I bought this right here for actually like to hang on the wall. This car wasn't even in my life yet, and I knew this was a cowl for a coupe. I picked this up for 20 bucks at Moultrie, and the guy didn't know what it was off of. But I picked it up really cheap, and it's really straight. This is gonna get scabbed into this car now.
That's gonna work perfect.
Yeah. I still got the same lower quarter repair here is going to have to happen, but I would have had to done that either way.
Oh yeah, that's typical stuff.
Yeah. But my corners, my edges are good, and I don't have to recreate the wheel on this one. So
oh yeah,
that'll work out.
Oh yeah, well, that car is going to turn out nice, definitely.
I never had a car with good wheel wells. This is the first car that I had with solid wheel wells.
Oh yeah.
So that's nice to have.
Definitely better than the car I'm working on. Definitely.
This back panel is bad, but I'm going to swap it out. I've got an aftermarket back panel. A guy could really save this, you know, but it's just too easy to pop in a new panel here. And I've got a new connector that's going to go in there. But that rear quarter is going to be a trick of a repair. It got pushed in, and
yeah, it's pushed in right here a little bit.
Yeah,
definitely.
If you look, you can. This is supposed to be kind of like a 90-degree right here, and this fender got hit. I don't know if it came in at this direction or if it came in at this direction, and the fender got lifted, and when it did, it rolled this wheel well. And if I hold this flat paper up here, you see how it kicks out here at an angle?
Yeah.
If you go on the other side,
yeah, it sits flat.
Yeah, if you go on the other side, it's pretty much 90 degrees. It's straight, so it rolled that, and by rolling that, it's humped this out. But that needs to be pushed out. Hopefully, it'll rotate back into position. I have to push down here, pull that out, push that in. But you know, I was so junk drunk with the car when I first saw it. I overlooked several of these things, and you know,
hey, it's gonna turn out good. It's a real solid project, definitely. That body is in a whole lot better shape than what a lot of people come up with. Definitely better than what I came up with. Well, let me show you guys the chassis he's got to go under this thing. All right, Larry's got this aftermarket chassis here he's going to be putting under that coupe. Going to be running it full fendered and everything. Really nice starting point. Drop axle.
Package. I had to buy everything to get the deal. I would have been just happy with the body because I was kind of in love with 32 frame rails, and but I had to get over that if I wanted the car. So they've got a
9-inch rear to go in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a nice piece. Well, let's go check out the little sedan you got sitting over there.
Okay, so here's a sedan project that I got on ice right now. This is actually the first project that I started off with. My dad and I got this car started, picked it up in Evansville, Indiana at the Frog Follies. If you've never been to that show, it's an awesome show. You ought to check it out. They've got a pretty good swap meet, and I bought this from that swap meet back in 2014. Setting on pinched and flattened 32 rails. They're aftermarket. We built the K-member. I've got a Camaro rear end in the back, coilovers, and a triangulated 4-link in the back. This car is going to have air. It's got a 2.5-inch chop that we did. It's got a 63 Bel Air wagon insert that my dad actually cut out of the wagon at a scrapyard up in Illinois. And it's got the thin pleats, the thin strip embellishments that are pressed into the steel, which are very desirable. I think some of these inserts that use like the wider bands that come from like Vans, I'm not really into that. I kind of got to have it, you know, in the thin beads. And anyway, so this has got that on it. I initially pulled off of this car because it was too nice to screw up with the first project. And so I bought a basket case sport coupe and started working on it. So yeah, now 3 Model A coupes later, you finally got a nice one. Yeah. To go with this sedan. The initial plan was, you know, to get the sedan done first, but I didn't want to screw it up. It was really nice metal, and so I bought that basket case sport coupe and started doing some fabrication and bought some tooling for the fabrication, and figured I'd cut my teeth on that project before I screw this one up. So I put this one on ice, and now I've been like, you know, definitely locked into coupes. Yeah. I'm over here about to trip over this radiator. A couple things in the way here. But. All right. Well, I like that sedan. That thing is a really, really solid body. I think all of us hot rodders would want a body that nice. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, guys. I need a car that nice. Definitely. All right, guys. So now I'm going to show you why I made the trip down to Larry's place today. The reason why I came to see Larry. Had to get some more parts for my coupe. So Larry had a pretty decent little rumble lid here. It was, I think originally it was a trunk lid, and it's been converted to a rumble lid. And it's got a set of rumble
hinges with it. Got some rust in the bottom, but I think I can fix this one. It's a whole lot better than what I got on my car. Larry, tell me the story about how you got this thing. Well, before you say that, I was at Moultrie at the swap meet looking for a trunk. I wanted one, I needed one, and I was hunting and I did not see one anywhere because somebody had already bought this one before I got a chance to see it. Tell them about it, Larry.
I was there looking for one too, and neither one of us found it either. The only reason why I got this one is because Matt of Iron Trap Garage, he found it before either one of us, and he bought it. And I bumped into Matt, and I was like, "Hey, dude, you bought like the only trunk lid here in the show," and no kidding, it was the only trunk lid at that show that year. And he was going to put this on the Sweetheart Roadster, and that car is turning out nicer and nicer. It's got a much nicer deck lid than this now, but this was going to go on the Sweetheart Roadster, and I gave him a sob story about I never find parts and I was looking for that and blah blah blah, and so he hooked me up and gave me a bro level deal on that lid, and that's the only reason why I got it.
Yeah.
And so I got lucky, and I've got a nice deck lid for this car, and you know, Phil needed it worse than I did. I was just gonna hoard it, and so anyway, so here it's gonna end up on his car. So
yeah,
that's how that goes down.
Well, I appreciate you letting me get this from you. So, interesting story on this.
Almost.
I'm glad to have it. So.
Almost a Sweetheart Roadster. If the Sweetheart Roadster would have had it, it would have been worth more money.
Yeah, it would have been worth more money.
It would have been like famous.
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah.
So, but we got it, so we're gonna put it to use. All right, so I got one other thing I came down here to get. Let's go check that out.
Cleaning me out.
All right, guys, so I came down here to get myself a sewing machine. I think I want to try to do the interior in my car myself, and I'm gonna get an upholstery machine.
Hey, what are you doing in front of my machine, man? This isn't yours.
Oh, wait a minute.
This is my machine. Your machine's over there.
Let me get over. Yep. Let me show you mine.
Come on, man.
All right, so this one's mine. It's got a nice table. Got a nice machine here. I think I'll be able to get this thing up and running pretty good. Now I'm gonna have to get some people to come over and show me how to work this thing. It's gonna be a learning curve, but that's what YouTube's for, Larry.
That's it.
That's what YouTube's for. So yeah.
You look smart.
Yeah, so Larry's already got his set up and he's got it going.
I still need to do some work on mine. It's not the up above thread and the bobbin thread is not doing its dance like it's supposed to, so I got a guy gonna come and do that. This is a 25-inch capacity here. This is a 25 Conso 206 RBL 25. So this was originally on an Air Force base in a fabrication shop where they worked on parachutes and webbing and whatnot.
Yeah.
It is a veteran.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to be getting one. So, yeah, hopefully everything works out good with this one. Larry hadn't tried it yet, but I think we can get it up and running with no problem. Yeah, I appreciate the deal on it, Larry.
Before I get the law called on me, these showed up. These were scrapped. We bought them from a scrap dealer.
Yeah.
Did not steal these from the local Air Force base.
Right.
So before the crazy comments started to drop, these were turned in for scrap, and we're going to give them a new life.
Yes, and they were purchased with money. They were not hauled off for free. They were not stolen. They were purchased with green cash.
Green money dollars.
Yes, so they are legitimate. But they've had some good use, being used for the military. So now we're going to put them to good use, working on some hot rods.
And yours has got a sticker on it that says what on top?
It says good, keep. So it's probably good. but then they mark through it, so it may not be good.
Mine's not working right now. He's got the sticker that says that's a good one. So
Yeah, his didn't have the sticker, so.
I didn't have a sticker on it. But it looks cleaner, but it's not working.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get this in the back of the truck, get this thing loaded up, get it home today, and get it set up. I'm excited. I've wanted an upholstery machine for a long time, so hopefully I can get this thing working and get it going. We'll see what happens. All right, Larry, appreciate the deal you gave me on the upholstery machine and the trunk lid. Boxcar's Garage, go check him out. But I was watching him before I started putting videos on YouTube, and it was kind of random how we met. You know, I better put that picture into this video.
Yeah, drop it in there.
How we met.
This was the guy that, what do you call somebody that gets into your pictures?
Yeah.
What do you call that person? Anyway, you put that in the bottom of this one too, the name for it. But this photo bomber.
Yeah.
This was we was at Moultrie talking with Mike and Matt from Iron Trap Garage, and we're both fans of Iron Trap Garage and loyal disciples. And we were there hanging out with them. We were like, "Hey guys, you mind we take a photo?" And they were like, "Yeah, no problem." And if you look at the grin on Mike and Matt's face, it's like, what are we doing here? You know, why are we taking this picture?
They didn't know us from Adam's House Cat.
Yeah, no. And but I think we were probably high on their list as far as comments, because we comment on everything they did at the time, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah. I asked the guys if they'd do a picture, and they was like, yeah, we'll do a picture. And I think Matt was like, "Come on in here, Phil," or "Come on, you can get in here too," or something or other. And so this guy ended up in the picture that was supposed to be me and Matt and Mike, and I had this dude here that I didn't know from Alabama. I was like, okay, whatever. So that's how we first met. Yeah.
But this went on for like, what was it, 2 years after that or something.
Yeah.
It was a long time later. I was on Facebook, and I just saw his page popped up, something that I was searching for, came up with his page, and I was looking through his photos, and there was a picture of me in the picture with him, and I was like, I didn't know that guy when I got in the picture. And then we found out we lived pretty close to each other, about an hour and a half apart. And since then, we've become good friends. But it all started with a photo with Matt and Mike.
Photo bomb.
That I photo bombed.
Yeah. If you would have been standing off to the side, we wouldn't be here right now.
That's right.
You've been, yeah.
I'd have never met Larry. And all I would have known of Boxcar's Garage was YouTube.
Yeah.
I would have been in it. So, well, Larry, it was good hanging out with you. I appreciate it. I'm going to get back to the house, my friend.
Yeah, but good seeing you.
I'll see you guys in a few minutes. I got to drive to the house, and I'm going to get this stuff unloaded and show you some more stuff I got. All right, guys, I made it in from down at Larry's at Boxcar's Garage, so now it's time to get the truck unloaded. All right, guys, I got everything out of the truck. You know, Larry and I traded on this trunk lid a while back, and he's just been waiting on me to get down there and pick it up. But I knew this thing had some rust in the bottom of it, but it's a whole lot better than the one that I had on my car. So in the meantime, I've been hunting around seeing what else I could find, and I happened to come up with something that's going to fix this up. Let me show you this. All right, so check this thing out. This is what's left of a 28-29 rumble lid. Now this thing is pretty solid on the outside. The skin looks great. The inside, it's got a little bit of rust in it, but it was really usable. It was savable. But the guy that had it decided it would be a good idea at some point to cut this thing up and use it for patch panels. I don't really know why. I don't understand that mindset, but hey, he did it. But let me tell you what's so good about this thing. The whole bottom edge of this is solid. There may be like 1 or 2 little pinholes in it. So my plan is, I'm gonna cut the bottom out of this one and I'm gonna put it into this one. Just so happens, when he hacked this trunk up and used it for patch panels, that he stopped cutting right before he got to the bottom section, the part I needed. So I'm extremely happy with that. I'm gonna show you up close what these look like. All right, so looking at the one I got from Larry from the outside, there's really nothing going on with it, just some old paint that's cracked and starting to come off. It's all got to be stripped, but it's in pretty good shape. But like I was talking about on this bottom down here, it's pretty rusty just on the inner skin. The outer skin's not rusted through at all. It's in great shape. It's just the inner panel. Looks like some body filler right here or something. But for the most part, I think the outer skin's savable. The inner panel is decent, but it's going to be covered by a seat anyway, and most of it is. So I got a set of hinges with it, which I didn't have on my car. But as far as this rust down here is concerned, check out this other one. This one is really nice along that bottom edge. It's really nice except for maybe one little hole right here. And then right here on this corner, I'll have to patch that right there. All right, so you can see what's about to happen. All that rusty stuff is going to get replaced with this right here. I'm just going to come right up in here. I'm going to cut it across here somewhere. Just graft this whole section in to right there. I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. I think it'll go pretty easy and turn out good. All right, so this one was originally a rumble lid off a 28-29. And this one was originally a trunk lid off a 30-31. The difference, as you can tell, between the 28-29 is right here. See, this is smooth across here on the 30-31. Now the 28-29 has this hump in it right here. That's how you can tell the difference. So what happened here was somebody converted this from a trunk lid into a rumble lid a long time ago. This one originally had the latch coming through, or the handle coming through at the bottom, and the latch was in the bottom here. And they welded up the hole in the outer skin. And then they hacked up the inside of it right here to put the latch into it. But now that latch is in a different place on the 30-31 than it is on the 28-29. The handle is a lot closer here than it is on that side to the outside edge. On the 28-29, the latch comes through the outside edge of the skin. And on the 30-31, the latch is a lot further back. It's here on the 28-29 and here on the 30-31. So the striker on the body is different. On the 28-29, you got this notch right here to clear that hump right here. in the deck lid or the rumble lid. On the 3031, this will just be smooth across here. So when I'm hacking and cutting on these things and taking pieces out of this one at the back and welding into that one, I will probably end up cutting this section out too, right here, and grafting that into this one. If I do that, that will eliminate this messed up hole, that messed up area right there where they hacked that up, and it'll put it back correct for a 2829. Because other than that, these trunk lids are the exact same from 28 all the way through 31. It's just that difference in the way that the latch mounts in right here, and that's about it. They're pretty much, other than that, exactly the same. So I'm gonna make it happen. But I'm gonna make it happen for half the money it would cost me to buy a new one. So that'll leave me some money left over to spend on the car somewhere else. And as you can see, I need plenty to spend on this car. So let me talk to you guys about this upholstery machine. I've been wanting to find an upholstery machine for quite a while. I just didn't want to pay the money that people were asking for these things just for me trying just to figure out how to learn. I have absolutely zero idea how to use this thing. I've got to go on YouTube and start watching some videos and try to figure it out. I feel confident I'll get it. I mean, it's not rocket science. I'll figure it out. But, you know, Larry didn't have to give me the deal he did on this thing. There was a lot of money he could have made on this. There was a good profit margin in it for him. But he gave me a good deal, and I really appreciate it. So before I can go to bed and sleep tonight, I've at least got to plug this thing in and see if it'll run. I went ahead and put the belt on it after I unloaded it from the truck. But I've not plugged it in yet. I've not tried it. Larry plugged his in. He tried it. He ran some thread through his. But this one has not been tried. So I'm going to go ahead and try it real quick. So let's get an extension cord, get it plugged in, and see what this thing will do. All right, it's plugged in, so I'm gonna hit this on button. We'll see what happens. It's running. Got a few things rattling. I can get that fixed. All right, let's see if it'll turn over. Just a metal piece under the bottom rattling, but it works. So that's a relief. Neither one of us knew if it worked or not, but it does, so I'm good to go. All right, in the next video, we're back on the Model A. We got this done in the last video. So in the next video, we're going to be repairing these bolt holes right down here, getting it where we can bolt these two pieces together. So that's where we're going to be in the next video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. So it's been a great day in the world of hot rodding. Come up with some good parts, come up with some good equipment. Spent the day with Larry at Boxcar's garage. He treated me right. Had a box of donuts waiting on me when I got there and an ice cold Coke. And neither one of us needed the donuts, but hey, they were good. And took me out after we were done plundering through everything he had and bought my lunch. So he really treated me right. Larry at Boxcar's Garage is a class act. Larry, I really appreciate the hospitality. All right, guys, next week, we're back on the Model A, getting a ton of work done on it. So you don't want to miss it. I'll see you guys in the next one.